For not being here for the whole hearing. I'm chairman of the Small Business Committee, and we were having a meeting of the Small Business Committee that I had to participate in. And I know that the delays in passport and visa applications has been the center of this discussion today. But I'm going to sort of take this from a little bit different angle in my request. Just so you know my circumstances in Maryland, we get between 1 to 2 dozen calls a day on challenges on passports or visas or something to deal with similar situations. And we are somewhat at a loss as to how to help our constituents. That's unacceptable. I'm with the chairman. We want to make sure you have the tools so there's a reasonable process in place, and you have we can tell that you can get your services done in an efficient way. We want all that done. But in the meantime, where we are today, our constituents need to know what path they need to take in order to be able to get the passport or visa that they need. And unfortunately, that's not the case. We hear that it may be, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks to get a passport, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. There's an expedited process that shortens it a little bit. There's emergency procedures that shortens it more. You need an appointment. You can't get an appointment. Your local office is closed, so you shop around the country to try to find an office where you can expedite it. So people travel. I had a person travel last week up to Buffalo from Baltimore in order to get an appointment, only to find out that one of my colleagues from New York told me they were able to get an appointment in D.C. It just doesn't make sense. So we need to have clear direction so that we can advise our constituents appropriately. We understand that emergencies are defined as emergency, but if a person is traveling, let's say, 10 weeks or 12 weeks from now, 3 months from now, they file for an application. The application for the passport renewal is not received. Now it's 4 weeks. Should they be contacting you to get it because they're now 4 weeks away? 2 weeks. Should they be contacting you or not? 1 week away? What are the rules here? Unless we have some understanding of what the rules are all about, how can we help you in regards to the current situation? Yes, let's improve the current situation. Let's give you the resources you need, but we need to be able to deal with the requests of our constituents so that they understand their options. So look, if we tell them to take can't plan a trip unless you have 6 months advance notice, that's the rules. We don't like it, but at least we can tell them that. So how can we get clear information out to the people of our community? And why would it be so different for someone from Maryland having to go up to New York and someone from New York having to go back to D.C. in order to get their appointments?
Thank you, Senator. And I appreciate the frustration that I know that your constituents are feeling, particularly about trying to find an appointment at a close counter. I'll simply say on that our emergency and expedited services at our counters, they're doing across the network 23,000 emergency appointments a week. They've added weekend hours. They've extended their hours. It is pre-pandemic and better in terms of the number of people that they're trying to see. So sometimes it's true, folks might have to travel to find an appointment. We always will work with your staff, as you know, sir, and we're so grateful to members and their staff for drawing cases to our attention that do require emergency appointment. Given the volume that we're seeing and the number of people that require appointments, we will do everything that we can do to accommodate people with humanitarian emergency needs. It's a little bit harder for us always to accommodate leisure travel. What we try really, really hard to do is to publicize wait times so that Americans can plan their travel. We try really hard to make sure Americans understand that before you plan your trip, you should look at your passport and to take into consideration processing times.
But they don't know what the processing time is. We were told one time was 8 weeks, another time was 12 weeks, and we have people who couldn't get their passports within that period of time. Then their emergency situation, which you don't consider an emergency because it's leisure travel, but they applied 12 weeks ago. They think they've complied with the rules. They think it is an emergency.
Oh, understood, absolutely. Processing times do vary and change, and we keep them posted on our website, and one of the things that we're very lucky to have is 29 passport agencies and centers. We do a tremendous amount of outreach. We work with your staffs to try to get this information out there. Our passport agencies and centers do the same. I absolutely hear you that people don't hear it until they need it. So we will work to ensure that we are doing everything that we can do to penetrate and make sure that we're getting this information out there, and we are grateful for the partnership of your staffs in doing that.
And thank you for your commitment to this. We know it's not an easy task, so thank you.